cat is also a rug and a mop and a duster. Just stick him on a stick and clean our floors with him. Okay, let's come to standing. Take your feet underneath your hips. Let's start by bringing our hands to our heart, palms together. You can close down your eyes or keep your eyes open, up to you. And I just want you to start to shift from side to side. Doesn't need to be anything vigorous. Just starting to bring yourself into this space, into this moment. Feel the ground underneath your feet. And then shift from the front of your foot to the back, picking up your toes as you shift to your heels, and picking up your heel a little bit as you shift to your toes. And then let's take your hands to your hips and start to take some circles with your hips. We'll start small. And now you're going around all the edges of your feet. Kind of go from the back to the sides to the front. We'll switch directions, go the other way. And then let's go switch the other way. Make your hip circles a little bit bigger. Go around to the front. Really bend your knees towards the back. I'm going to widen my stance here. Really get some distance here. Make sure you switch sides if you find a place that's kind of interesting and you want to hang out in it. Go ahead. Ooh. Then come back to standing. Bring your feet just a little wider than hips, or maybe right at. Press down into your feet. Inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale, bend at your knees. Hinge from your hips. Bring your hands all the way down to the earth. Let's come right back up with a long spine. Reach your heart forward. Come up to standing. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, heart lifts. Hands over your head. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Press down, reach up, exhale, fold. Inhale, hands up and over your head. Exhale, hands down to the earth. And now let's inhale up halfway. Press your palms into your shins, shoulder blades reach back towards your hips, and you're at the front of your foot again, maybe lifting your heels just slightly. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need to. Get your hands down to the earth. Look behind you. Keep your chin tucked halfway. Lengthen out. Weight in your toes. Exhale, fold. Inhale up halfway. Use your back to lift you up. Reach the crown of your head forward and fold. This time, bend at your knees. Long spine will come all the way back up to standing. Hands over your head. Exhale, hands through center. Take a moment to pause here. Set an intention for yourself today. My intention right now is to get whatever's on my mat off of it. Just a moment to pause. Doesn't have to be anything grandiose or extremely sincere or serious. Root yourself in this moment in something to keep you here when your mind starts to stray. Now let's take our hands behind us. Interlace your fingers, reach your knuckles down, draw your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, bend at your knees, reach your hips back, arms come up and over your head. Shake your head yes and no. Keep a really good bend in your knees here. This isn't so much about stretching the backs of our legs as it is our shoulders. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Your hands grab a hold of your elbows. Feel how the stretch shifts. Relax your neck again, maybe shift from side to side ever so gently. And take your hands down to the mat and step back into downward dog. Bend a lot through one knee and then the other. Ooh. Shift from weight from one side and then to the other leg. Then let's all come to a like a neutral position with your feet underneath your hips. Lift your heels over your toes. Take your heels over to the right. And then walk your left hand out so you're on your left fingertips. Gaze underneath your left shoulder and big side stretch through your left side. Oh, and maybe bend your knees, point them towards the left a little bit, just maybe. And then we'll come back through center, heels lift over to the left. Walk your right hand out. Gaze underneath your right shoulder. Press down and forward through your left hand. Bend your right ribs back. Maybe bend your knees. And then come back into center. Inhale your heels over your toes. Tuck your chin. Inhale, articulate your spine forward so you're in plank, hips and shoulders at the same height. Navel draws into spine. Press into your fingertips to activate the muscles that wrap around your shoulders. And then make sure that you're pressing the earth away. So you're not down in your shoulders like this, but you're lifting up away from the mat. Now, again, take your heels to the right. Keep your shoulders over your wrists as you do this. Keep your hips the same height as your shoulders. Heels through center, over to the left. Let's do one more time on each side. Through the middle, to the left, back into the middle. Wrap your thigh muscles around your leg bones, and then elbows point back. Use your legs as brakes as you make your way down to the mat. Tops of feet anchor, press all 10 toes down. Press the tops of your fingers into the mat. Loop your shoulders, reach your heart forward. Just a little baby cobra, and then soften. We'll do 2 more. Shoulders loop, collarbones broad and come up a little bit higher. And melt back down. One more. This one will be the big mama. Come up as high as you can. Press into your hands to give you a little bit extra height. Get a toe cramp. What is happening with my left foot? Look from side to side. And then release down to the mat. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Knees lift. Navel lifts, and then whole body presses away from the mat at the same time, and come back to downward dog. Cleansing breath, deep inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Stick your tongue out as you exhale. Make this last one your loudest one yet. Good. Now, as you inhale, lift your right leg. Reach out through your heel. On your exhale, keep your knee lifted. Pull through center. Shift forward, shoulders over your wrists. And then inhale, lengthen back out. Stretch again from heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, knee through center, foot to thumb. Press down into the mat. Reach your hands forward and up. Crescent, hands through center, long through your spine as you come down. Bring your left hand underneath your nose. Take left ribs towards the inside of right thigh as you twist open towards your right. Squeeze your legs together. Bring your right hand back down. Seal both of your palms. Inhale again into a one-legged downward dog. Stretch. Exhale, take your right knee in towards your chest. Ground your left heel like you would in Warrior Two, and then bring your right foot out to the side on the knife edge of your right foot. And then left arm opens up. Press down into your right hand, lift up through your left. Take your left hand back to the mat. Right knee pulls back in, and then come out into downward plank or one-legged plank. Elbows point back, and the whole body hits the mat. Tops of feet press down, heart reaches forward, cobra, and then release. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes tuck, knees lift, press up through plank, back to downward dog. We'll do this one slow again. Inhale, left leg, reach back. Exhale, knee to chest. Use your core, look back towards your knee. Inhale, stretch back out through your heel. Exhale, knee comes through center, shift forward. Place your foot next to your thumb. Square your hips. Press down into the strong earth. Reach your arms above your head. Gaze up towards the horizon. Exhale, hinge forward. Right hand under your nose. Lead with your left elbow. Peel open right ribs towards the inside of left thigh. Exhale, left hand down to the earth. Seal your palms. Press and stretch your left leg back. Exhale, take your knee into center. Use your core. Ground your right heel. Press your left foot out to the right on the knife edge of your left foot. Open up through your right hand. Press down to your left. Lift your hips. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Reach out through your left heel, so you're in plank or one-legged plank, and then all the way down. Tops of fingers press down. Liberate, find a softness here, and then release. Turn strength back on. So you press through plank to downward dog. Toes together. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee to chest, shift forward. Inhale, stretch your right foot back. Exhale, knee to center, foot to thumb. Press down, rise up into crescent, hands over your head. Exhale, hands through midline. Left hand underneath your nose. Right hand lifts up, press down into your left hand, reach up through your right. Exhale, both hands seal to the mat. Right leg stretches back. Exhale, knee to center. Pivot your left hip, your left foot down. Reach your right foot over to the left. Open up toward your left side. Shoulders stack. Both hands to the mat. Plank or one-legged plank. Whole body to the mat. Tops of feet press down. Keep the back of your neck long. And then release. Hands underneath your shoulders. And back to downward dog. Straight to the left side. Reach out through your left heel. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift forward. Inhale, press back. Exhale, foot to thumb. Rise up into crescent. Exhale, hinge forward. Right hand presses down. Left hand opens up. Squeeze your legs together. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Stretch your left foot back. Reach your left heel back, right crown of head forward. Take your knee to center. Ground your right foot. Left leg stretches out. Right arm expands. Exhale, one-legged plank or plank, and down to the mat. Fingertips press down. Shoulders loop. Heart opens and release. Hands under your shoulders, toes tuck. Strength and stability on your way to downward dog. Let's pause just a moment before we head to our last round on each side. You set an intention in the beginning of class, come back to it. How are you going to show up for these last 2 rounds? What are you going to commit to? Or this last round, one on each side. All right, lead with your breath. Inhale your right leg back. Exhale, knee to chest, lift, shift forward. Inhale with power, stretch back. Exhale like you're stoking a fire. Bring your right foot forward, press down, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands through center. Left hand underneath your nose. Right arm opens, twist. Exhale, right hand back down. Stretch your right leg back. Exhale, knee to center. Keep it lifted. Use your core. Right leg stretches out to your left side. Open up, expand. Exhale, left hand to the mat. One-legged plank or plank. And then down to the mat. Tops of fingers press down. Shoulders loop. Release. Toes tuck. And back to downward dog. Left leg, last time. This is where you really stoke the fire. Knee to center, shift forward. Inhale back. Exhale, knee through center, foot to thumb. Rise up like a flame, hands over your head, gaze out. Exhale, reach out through your back heels, your hands come down. Press down into your right, reach up with your left. Exhale, both palms sealed. Left leg stretches back. Left knee to center, shift. You press your right heel down, left leg out, right arm up. Both palms to the mat, plank, one-legged plank, and then back to the earth. Fingertips press down, shoulders loop, heart opens, release. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes tuck. Come back to downward dog and hang with me here for 3 breaths. I know that you've been working hard. Give me just another minute or just another couple of breaths here. What would you like to clear away and what would you like to bring forth? How can this heat you're building now be used to clear away things that you no longer need? Patterns and habits and mental fluctuations that no longer serve you. One more deep inhale. Exhale out your mouth. And then bring your knees to the mat. Bring your toes together, hips towards your heels. Let's stretch our hands behind us, backs of hands to the earth, forehead to the earth. Let your shoulders soften. Take a moment to observe the conditions of your mind. And take your hands back in front of you. We'll come to a moment. We'll just sit on our heels for a quick second here before we head into our core work. I know that sequence of namaskars can be a lot on our wrists, so we'll do a little bit of wrist stretching, and then we'll do our core work, and then we'll do some more wrist stretching. So interlace your fingers, bring your elbows together, and then move your forearms up and down like 2 pistons and rotate your wrists. We'll go in both directions. Go ahead and switch. And then release. Maybe you just give them a little bit of a wiggle, fly away. And then loosen up your shoulders a little. And we'll get started with our core work now. So no demo really required here. I have full faith in your ability to pick this up as we go. So we're going to all start in tabletop. Go ahead and come here. And then we're going to use our strength to arrive in plank once again. Make sure that you're not sinking into your shoulders, but you're pressing the floor away with lots of life and energy and vitality. Now from here, take your heels over to the right. Press down into your right hand. Lift up through your left. Hips as high as you can get them. You have an option. You can take your left foot in front to help support you, or your left foot in front of your right, or your left foot on top of your right. Find the option that's right for you, and then take your hand behind your head. Inhale here. Exhale, take elbow to elbow. Press down through your right hand. Open up again. Exhale, elbow towards elbow. You don't come all the way though. And then open up all the way so your shoulders stack, collarbones broad. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Inhale, open up, pause. Keep you lifting your hips. Stretch your left arm up. Moment of celebration. Now follow me here. It's going to be different than Tuesday. Bring your left forearm down to the mat. Take both heels to the left. Reach your right arm up. Take your right hand behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Keep pressing down into your forearm. Inhale, open up, shoulders stack. Exhale, lower. Inhale, expand all the way. One more, elbow to elbow. Inhale, open up. Reach your right arm up. This is that celebratory moment. Lift your hips and take your right forearm down. Moment and forearm plank. And then take your knees to the earth, hips to the earth. Reach your heart up, pull your forearms in towards you, and then soften. Then we'll come up to kneeling. You want to take just a quick shake of your wrists, loosen up your shoulders, and we'll do the other side. Shoulders over wrists. Come into plank. Nice and strong. Feel the vitality of this position. Feel your strength. And take your heels over to the left. Inhale, reach your right arm up, press down into your left. Really want your hips as high as you can get them. And your shoulders are stacked. Options again, right foot, or in front of your left, or on top. Palm to the back of your head. And then inhale, exhale, elbow towards elbow. Press down into your left, lift your hips, expand. Exhale, contain. And we'll cycle again from expansion, hips high. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Keep your hips lifted, open up. One more, elbow to elbow. Inhale, open. Right hand lifts up, victory. And then bring your right hand down, right forearm down, both heels over to the right. Press your right forearm down, lift your left hand up, shoulder stack, take your left palm behind your head. Exhale, contain. Inhale, expand all the way. Hips high. Exhale in. Inhale, open. One more. Elbow to elbow. Press down into your right forearm. Lift your hips. Lift your left arm up. Reach for the sky. Come into forearm plank with strength and a good foundation. And then bring your knee down, hips down. Quick lift of the heart. Pull your elbows in towards you. And then soften. Bring your hands behind you, tops of your hands to the earth. Neck can go either way. And just take your heels from side to side. And then hands back underneath your shoulders. Press up into all fours. We'll take a couple of wrist stretches, which I'll do it this way. So this first one, you'll come onto the backs of your hands and take your fingertips in towards each other. This is plenty. Stay here, or maybe you curl your fingers in towards your palms, like little gorilla hands here. And if you shift forward, you might feel slightly change in sensation. And then let's switch. Take the backs of your hands so that your fingers point towards you. Tuck your toes. And then shift back as much as you can without lifting the backs of your hands off the earth, which for me is not much. Probably a lot of us, because we spend so much time at the computer. See if you can turn the insides of your elbows forward and see how that changes the sensation. And then let's go tops, or the palm of your hand down, fingertips towards you. And that same action, shift back, press your whole hand down and forward. Ooh. Lots of sensation here. And come back to center. Shake your wrists out. And we'll make our way back to downward dog. Downward dog, it's a good time before we start our first wave to take a nice cleansing breath. Deep inhale and exhale out your mouth. Now, and bring your toes towards each other. Inhale your right leg back. Reach your right leg as high as you can. Press down through your left heel. Maybe bend at your right knee. Shoulders square to the front of the mat. Energetically pressing your hands towards each other to keep your shoulders stable. Now draw your knee in towards your chest. Lift. Look back, shift forward, and place your right foot between your hands. Ground your back heel, so you're in heel to arch alignment, and follow your left hand up and over for warrior two. Really strong through your arms. I know your legs are active, but want your arms to feel like they're just as much a part of this shape as everything else. Solidify this back leg by pulling your knee up towards your hip. Now, on an exhale, draw your hands in towards each other, pull your feet towards each other without moving them. Inhale, press your feet down and apart. This could be a really good place to close your eyes. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, breathe in, expand your lungs, expand your arms. Exhale. Together. Inhale, broaden across your collarbones. One more time, hands to midline. Inhale, stretch from heart to fingertips. Arms still strong and stable. Straighten your front leg. Shift your hips back. Slide forward towards triangle. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, stretch forward, ribs move forward, hips reach back. One more time, come to center. And then reach forward, reach, 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 reach. Go as far as you can, and then place your right hand on your right shin. Take your left hand towards your right, and then from here, open up into triangle so that your shoulders are stacked. And I kind of noticed that my right shoulder was just a little shrugged. So turn your right shoulder back, and then spin your left ribs back. You may even feel like you can bring your hips forward and your ribs back. Gaze up towards your left hand. And then bring your left hand towards you to your waist. See if you can keep your shoulders this open. Turn just your gaze to a spot. We're headed towards Ardha Chandrasana. And you may like a block in your right hand here. But we're going to look for a spot about 6 inches or so in front of our right pinky toe. Bend your front knee just enough so that you can hop your back foot in. Take your fingertips to the earth and then lift your back foot. So you're reaching out through your left heel. Left toes point towards the left side of the mat. Your leg is parallel with the earth, shoulders open, so you're not turned towards the ground. And you want to make sure that you can see your left toes and that your left leg isn't behind you. Once you've got all that in place, lift your top arm. And then if you're like, well, this is easy peasy, I do this all the time, try closing your eyes. I know that there's also some fun ways to add lifting your right hand, but for today, I'd like you to challenge yourself by closing your eyes. It'll be a whole new ball game. Couple more breaths here. Keep lifting up through your top arm. You have movement in all directions. And then slightly bend your standing leg. Step quietly back into warrior two. Oh, it was very quiet. Nicely done. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes towards the side of the mat. Breathe your arms up. This is just for transition. Exhale, hinge forward. And walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Step back into plank. Draw your navel to your spine. Elbows point back, brush your ribs as you come back down to your mat. Tops of feet press down and back. Shoulders loop, heart opener, peel away from the earth. Melt back down. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes tuck. With strength and stability through plank, back to downward dog. Left side, inhale your left foot up, open up through your hips, press down through your right leg, lift up through your left, bend at your left knee if that feels good to you today. Keep your shoulders squared to the front of the mat. Got a nice stretch through the back of your right leg, through your hips. And then take your knee through center, lift from center, shift forward, place your foot between your hands. Ground your right heel, so your heel to arch. Right hand leads, come up into warrior two. I like to do a little pant pull up here, it's not required. Arms strong, hips low, reach up through the crown of your head. All right, so same thing. Make sure that the back of your right, the outside edge of your right foot is secure into the mat, and that your front knee is working its way to the outside edge of your front foot. Now on your inhale or on your exhale, pull your hands in towards your midline. Inhale, stretch from heart to fingertips. Exhale, contain. Inhale, expand. 2 more. Close down your eyes. Connect with your breath. Inhale, open up, broaden across your collarbones. Straighten your front leg. Maybe heel toe your back foot in, just one click. Shift your hips back, slide your rib cage forward. Arms stay parallel. Inhale to center. Exhale, slide a little bit further this time. Come back to the middle. One more time, slide forward, shift, 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 and then left hand to left shin. Let's start with your right hand on your left shin as well. Notice how you're turned towards the earth here. And then as you open up, shoulders stack. Turn your left shoulder back as well in case it started to come up towards your ear. Hips move forward, ribs back. Keep the left side of your body long. You can press your palm into your shin to help create length in your spine. Gaze could be up if that's okay with your neck, but it's not required. If it's more comfortable for you to just gaze forward, do so. Lots of expansion here. Now keep your shoulders stacked. Keep this expansion. Take your right hand to your hip. With your neck, turn towards the earth, not your waist. Bend your front knee. Shoulders stay open to the right side of your mat, and then hop forward. Find your spot with your left hand. Slowly, carefully lift your right foot up in the air for Ardha Chandrasana. Right foot really flexed, pressing out through your right heel. And then make sure your shoulders are stacked, that you're not turning towards the earth. Once you have that, and you know your foot is in front of you so you can see your toes, not behind you, then you can lift your right arm. You're reaching back and out through your right foot, forward through the crown of your head, up through your right hand, and down through your left hand and foot. If this is easy peasy, try closing your eyes, even for just half a breath. See what a difference that can make. And now softly bend your left leg. Quietly step back into warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Toes turn towards the right side of your mat. Hands float up. Exhale, hinge forward. Pivot to the top of your mat. And step back in to plank. Elbows point back. Lower to the earth. Tops of your feet press down. Shoulders loop. And release. Come back into into downward dog for one last short wave. Reach your right leg up, just one breath back and up. Exhale, knee comes to center. Shift forward and place your foot between your hands. Ground your left heel, just like before. Follow your left hand up and over into warrior two. Make sure your front knee is bent, working towards the outside edge of your front foot and tracking over towards the center of the inside, or tracking over the center of your foot. Take the back of your left hand to your sacrum, or sneak your hand around so that the palm of your left hand is on the top of your right thigh. And if you're there, then press down and forward into your thigh. Everyone flip your palm and then reach up and over for reverse warrior two with a bind. Big stretch from your right shoulder to your right hip. Make sure that your right knee is still bent so you're not straightening your leg just to move back, but keep the movement just from your upper body. One more breath here. Now, keeping the length in your right side, come forward. Take your right elbow on the inside of your right thigh. Press your right leg with your elbow. Open up more so your left ribs are turning back, right ribs rotating forward. Keep this open position with your shoulders. Turn just your gaze down to that same spot that we've been finding for Ardha Chandrasana. Release your right hand. Keep your left hand behind you. Take your right hand to the earth. Slowly lift your left foot. Point your toes towards the left side of your mat. Now bring your left heel in towards your glute. Stay here, just reaching, or your left hand just happens to be back here. So you could find the outside edge of your left foot, or you could just keep reaching for it. Either way, again, stack your shoulders and press, if you have a hold of your foot, press hand into foot, foot into hand. And make sure that you're not turned towards the earth, but that you're open towards the side, open to new possibilities, embracing expansion rather than turning downward. It's a big hip opener as well as a balance challenge. And we'll come out through Ardha Chandrasana. So release your left leg. Even if you don't have it, reach your left arm up. Slight bend in your right knee. Come down slowly. Straighten your front leg. Again, we'll take that same transition. Inhale, float your arms above your head. Exhale, dive forward. Pivot to the front of the mat. Step back into plank. Exhale all the way down. Tops of feet press down, shoulders loop. Release and come back to downward dog. One more side. Left leg. Inhale, reach up, just one breath here. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift forward, strong core. Place your left foot between your hands. Right heel down, seal the outside edge of your right foot. Float your hands up through space into warrior two. Stable through the foundation of this shape. Keep this structure really solid and take the back of your left hand to, the back of your right hand to your sacrum. And then maybe sneak your right hand around if you want. Press down and forward into your left thigh. Everyone will flip their left palm. And then not moving your legs at all, just reach your left hand up and over. Stretch the space between your left armpit and your left hip. Encourage your left knee to move forward. Keep drawing your back knee up towards your back hip. And then keep the length of your left side as you come forward into side angle pose. Left elbow on the inside of your left knee so that you can use that as leverage to roll your right shoulder back, right ribs back, and left ribs rotate forward and up. Now, keep the expansion of your shoulders. Gaze turns down. Hop your back foot in, left hand to the earth. Back foot lifts, toes point towards the right. Perhaps you're bringing your foot in. We're all bringing our foot in towards our glute. Some of us will grab a hold of our foot. All of us will open our shoulders open to the right side of our mat. And if you have your foot, press foot into hand, hand into foot. Ooh, and it's not so much about creating a lot of space between your heel and your glute as it is turning your shoulders open. So a lot of times we get more expansion, we feel like if we turn downward, but we're doing something different today. And then we'll all come back out through Ardha Chandrasana. If you have your foot, release. Otherwise, just send your foot out. Right arm reaches up. Gently, slowly, silently, patiently come back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Free your arms. Float them above your head. And exhale. Hinge forward. Pivot to the front of your mat. Step back into plank. And exhale all the way down. Tops of your fingers press down. Shoulders loop. Peel away from the earth. Release. And we'll come back through tabletop. Take your feet out to the side and make your way to your back. Nice and easy. Take a moment here to walk your feet out to the outside edges of your mat. Bring your knees in towards each other. And just start to acquaint ourselves with the earth. Left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Notice where you might have some tension. Could be in your forehead or jaw, shoulders, abdomen. Start to release. Direct your breath downward. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Stretch your arms out from your sides. And release your knees over to the right for a simple twist. Sometimes it's nice to gently place your right hand on your left knee here, but not required. Notice again, what are you still holding on to? What would you like to clear away? And what would you like to bring forth? Bring your knees back through the middle. Let your knees softly land on the left side. If you liked your left hand on your right thigh, go ahead and find that option. Start to really sink into the mat. Soften through your lower back. And let go. And then let go again and again and again. That's what this practice is really about the release rather than the gain. Bring your knees back into center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock from side to side. Stay here or maybe find happy baby. Soften through your lower back. Let your hips be heavy in either position. Bring your awareness to the places where your body makes contact with the mat. And then we'll all bring our knees back into our chest for one last breath in. Exhale, legs out long. Setting up for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Palms open is a gesture of receiving the benefits of our practice. And start to settle into space, into the space between your thoughts. After a couple minutes, I'll tell you when it's time to come out. Without moving or opening your eyes, start to become conscious of your surrounding environment. Deepen your awareness into your physical body by taking deeper breaths, incorporating small movements of fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Inhale your arms over your head. Stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Bend at your knees. Roll to one side and pause for a moment. And in this moment, observe the conditions of your mind, how you feel. Notice the connection between mind and body. Use your top arm to press yourself up into a seated position at the front of your mat, sitting tall, dignified, reaching up through the crown of your head. Thank you all so much for coming, supporting our community. Thank you to those in our lives who have made it possible for us to do this practice today. And may you and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with ease. Namaste.